Okay, hi everyone. So in this video, I would like to share with all of you some important tips, and maybe this is going to be useful for all of you when you are answering for assessment 2B SOP listening. Okay, on the screen, as you can see, we have the answers for some of the listening activities, and what we are focusing now is actually on information transfer. Okay, so this is on laboratory notebooks, the one that you have completed, I believe, okay, in Kalam. Right. So for this kind of activity, you have to listen carefully for the pronunciation. For example, on the name like laboratory notebooks. So if it is in plural form, you have to put in the plural form. And in this case, this is notebooks, okay, with the S. Okay, if you look at the second part, which is on the purpose of the SOP, this is on singular work, and that's why it is answered as in laboratory work. Okay, all right. So listen carefully for the keywords, okay, for the keywords, all right, and then try to make sure that the spelling is correct. Okay, and perhaps if you are not sure on getting the spelling correctly, what you can do is that you can look at the content of the listening text. I mean the question itself. Sometimes for certain terminology, it is given in the question itself on how to spell it correctly. So you can do this, okay, in order to answer the question if you have this kind of question. But I believe the most important part or the most important thing is actually trying to understand the question, listen carefully, and then you have to, before that, go through the question itself and try to get the keywords. Okay, so I'm going to change this to a next activity, to the next activity. I believe that for this part, this is not really difficult. However, when it comes to the spelling, okay, it's going to be quite challenging for all of you. Okay, I'm going to change it to the next activity, which is on multiple choice question. Okay, all right. So this is the kind of question actually that you're going to have for your assessment 2B SOP listening. So for this part, okay, my suggestion when you have the time to look at the question, because the recording will be played twice. So what do you need to do, okay, when you are going to sit for the listening test? You will be given 1 minute to go through the question. I know that it is not enough actually, but during that 1 minute, try to circle or highlight what is the keyword for each question. Okay, all right. So, for example, question number one here, the building is fully equipped to handle any emergency. In the event of fire, you should. Okay, so the keyword is if there is a fire, what you should do. Okay, so when you listen to the recording and then you listen to this keyword, it will help you to guide you in order to get the correct answer. Okay, let's say we have a look at the second question. In the event of bomb threat, when should occupants evacuate the building? So the keyword may be on evacuating the building and bomb threat. Also the word when. So that will be the keywords for the second question. So as you listen to the recording, maybe they will give you some important information. For example, the when answer. Okay. Normally, when it comes to the listening question, you will be answering the 5W and 1H question. Normally, I'm not saying that it is compulsory, but it is normally like that. Okay. Right, next, question number three. What should be done in the case of main power failure? So what will be the keyword here? Yes, it is on main power failure. So if it happened, what do you need to do? So you listen to the information that precedes, okay? Next, let's have a look at question 6 to 10. So on true or false, okay, for the true or false, this is quite tricky because sometimes the one that you listen is actually on this kind of information. However, in the question itself, maybe there is a twist to it. Okay, right. For example, question number 6 here. The building is a non-smoking area. So in the recording, maybe it is stated that there is certain places, okay, there is a certain place in the building that you can smoke. So it means that that whole building, it is not really a non-smoking area because there are certain places where you can smoke. So the answer for this thing, maybe it is false because, right, the statement or the question given to you, the building is a non-smoking area. So this is an absolute kind of statement stating that the building is a non-smoking area. However, in the recording, it is stated that, okay, for example, like certain floor or certain area is designated for non-smoking area, while certain places are dedicated for those who wanted to smoke the cigarette. Okay, so be very careful about this thing. So another tips, okay, please listen to some of the important information such as figures, numbers, specific name. Right. And then for the questions where you are given options, which is on multiple choice question, A, B, C, and D, for instance, okay, or A, B, C, you try to highlight what will be the distractor and what is the actual answer. Okay. Some of the question will appear in the context of the statements, the following statements are true except. So it means that, okay, the four options given to you, A, B, C, or D, okay, for example, all right, three of the statements are incorrect except for one of it. Okay, so if you have this kind of question, try to again look at the keywords and listen carefully to the recording in order for you to get the answers. Right, and the reason why the recording is being played twice is because, okay, if you listen to the recording for the first time, you can jot down your answers using pencil if it is given, okay, or if it is permissible. Or you can have a piece of paper where you can just write your answers for the first time you listen to the recording. When you listen to the recording for the second time, okay, this is when you are supposed to double check your answers. Make sure it is correct, make sure it is true, and so on. Okay, all right. So these are the things that you need to consider when you are answering the listening question. Okay, so look at the sample given here. Welcome to Menara Petronas, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. So where is it located? The 5W1H question. So where is it located? It is in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. What is the name of the building? Menara Petronas. Sometimes, okay, the questions are going to be in this kind of form. So again, listening is quite tricky, especially when it comes to the distractors. What does it mean by the distractors? Over here. Okay. And then in certain situation, the longer options can be the incorrect answer. So be very careful about this as well. Okay, you cannot simply say that, for example, in number five over here, who are advised to use the bombas lift in the event of evacuation. So if you think that, okay, since that option C is longer compared to option A and B, you cannot simply say that C is the correct version. Maybe C is the incorrect answers. So normally when we set up the question, all right, we are going to have all of the answers, all of the options being placed in the same length. Okay, so it means that you can simply not being what do you call it, confused with the options given to you. Okay, all right. So again, the recording will be played twice. When you listen to the recording for the first time, you try to get the answers. And then when you listen to the recording for the second time, you double check your answers and make sure that you got the correct one. So the best thing to do is to have proper practice. My suggestion, you still have few days to go, then you can do the remaining exercises given in Kalam for the listening test. Okay, remember that the listening test will be during that 1 hour slot, and then the reading will be conducted in the 2 hour slot. Okay, I'll keep you updated with the latest information for assessment 2A SOP reading and assessment 2B SOP listening. Thank you very much for listening to me. Good luck and see you.